If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I post a new Tom Brady video every day.
Yeah, great win. Great team win. Special teams, hell of a job. Yeah. Hell of a job. Yeah. Coverage team. Let's go. When you get a shutout, baby, you got to be a little hungry. When they can't relax like that and give up full points when we had a shutout. All right, you know it's just tackling. All right, offense, good job finishing. Got a lot of guys step in, step up. It's going to be the same thing next week. I don't give a who you are. When you put that Bucs helmet on, there's a level of expectation. All it is your best. You ain't got to be the guy you replace. Just your best and nothing less. Break it down, hell of a job.
Hey, that's a great win. Hey, we on to the next. Let's go. Win on three. 1, 2, 3. Win.
If there's one thing that Tom Brady's good at is winning games in different ways. He's going to do and adjust his game, by any means to win the football game. And I think that's what makes him special is his versatility and being able to win, especially with some injuries.
What was the difference in this game for them?
Tom Brady, and there were some injuries they were dealing with coming into this game, but this is every game that Tom Brady has played as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs, that team has scored 30 or more points, and we saw that again on Sunday here.
I think it's always important to try to get the lead, and we've done a decent job at that at times. We've clawed our way back too, so I think it's finding different ways to win's really good, really important. I'd love to always start fast like that and have a lead like that. So it was a good way for us to start the game. We're going to try to make it happen again next week, whoever we play.
The Eagles didn't have a ton of answers. They came out offensively, couldn't get things going. The running game wasn't working. That's what they like to do, run the ball. Even with those injuries, Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, was able to shut down what Philadelphia wanted to do. And then Jalen Hurts, who had some opportunities early in the first half, he pretty much struggled for the final 2/3 of that football game. And without him playing well, there was really no opportunity for the Eagles to mount anything coming close to a comeback.
Playing off that same idea, Bruce, with no turnovers, limited number of penalties, taking advantage of what the Eagles gave you. Just how much value is there in having a smart, experienced team at this time of the year?
Oh, it's huge, John. We had one or two plays that weren't, but man, for the most part, offensively especially, we're playing really good football for the last month. And defensively, other than the fourth quarter, I thought we played outstanding.
Honestly, coming out of this game, I was really wondering what was going to show of the Bucs' run defense. We know that the Eagles' rushing offense is really good. They were very good all regular season, really led the league in several categories. The Bucs' run defense was vulnerable at times, and yet they came into this game, they stood the test, and ultimately, I think that's a big reason why they were so
right,
dominant.
And what we saw in the first quarter was Todd Bowles called a lot of run blitzes, a lot of 10 guys at the line of scrimmage, single high safety. They attacked with Jordan Whitehead, 2 Miles Sanders. They used Devin White with blitzes up the middle on run downs. And when I talked to Nick Sirianni after the game, Jeff, it was pretty clear that Jalen Hurts was supposed to check out of some of those runs and go to throws, and he didn't do it. What about the Bucs offensively that you liked?
Well, I mean, you talk about the running game. This is a team that didn't have Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones, and yet they kind of came out in that first drive and didn't steer away from it. I really expected, honestly, more passing at that point, but instead they went with that rotation of running backs. They were willing to do some, Tom Brady doing what he does best and what he's done for years is use those running backs out of the backfield and just establish momentum, not just with his stars. And I think that really took the Eagles a little bit off guard.
It's tough conditions out there, kind of favored more of a running game with the wind, the way that kind of played a factor. But we found a way to kind of play well against a really good football team.
And, a lot was made of how well, the Eagles run the football. What did you guys do in particular? I mean, getting a lead is always helpful, right? But what did you do in particular to shut down their run?
We just tackled it way better. We played the screen game way better, and we were more physical in the first 3 quarters.
Jalen Hurts against some guy named Brady. And you see Hurts, these numbers all belie what happened in the first 3 quarters. Hurts 23 of 43. He's above 50% passing, 258 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. One of the picks led to Tampa Bay points, a 60 passer rating. Throughout some of the game, that rating was in the 30s. Sacked twice for 14 yards, 39 rushing yards. Tom Brady, 271 yards, 2 touchdowns, a rating of 115.2.
Hey, Bruce, could you speak to the game that Tom had today? It didn't look like he had to do
remarkable things, but he was obviously he was the usual surgical self.
Yeah, it's like once Tom figures you out, man, you're in trouble. And the wind didn't even affect him at all, and he was extremely accurate on the right guys. I mean, that was a dime he threw to Mike for that long touchdown. And, yeah, he's a surgeon, man. I mean, once he figures you out and we can put him in a position and protect him, he's gonna eat you up.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers' hopes of repeating as Super Bowl champs stay alive after defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 31-15 to advance to the divisional round for the second consecutive season. And it wouldn't be a Tom Brady game if there wasn't a bit of history made. Tom Brady went 29 for 37 for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. TB12's third quarter TD pass to Rob Gronkowski was his 100th touchdown since joining the Buccaneers. And that touchdown reception was Gronk's 15th of his postseason career, which is the most by any tight end. Mike Evans caught 9 passes for 117 yards and a TD. And this game was pretty much over in the third quarter when Tampa Bay coasted right past Philadelphia on for the victory.
I think it's always important to try to get the lead. And, we've done a decent job at that at times. We've clawed our way back too. So I think it's finding different ways to win's really good, really important. I'd love to always start fast like that and have a lead like that. So it was a good way for us to start the game. We're going to try to make it happen again next week, whoever we play.
Tom Brady is now 5-0 in the playoffs with a defending champ.
Gronk, how well do you feel the team is playing overall? As a whole, you got off to a great start. Did you like the finish? And how does it feel going into the next week?
Yeah, I mean, freaking definitely, like the way that the team was playing this week, in this game. There's no doubt about that. And just, the level of intensity that the defense came out with, it was just, exceptional. We just had to match them on the offensive side of the ball, and we did at times for sure. And just overall, we played some complementary football, offensive, defensive, and special teams. We all contributed, all played off each other, and that's how you win playoff games. You got to bring it in all 3 phases at all times.
Tom, I know you'd love to have everybody back on offense, but to see the guys come back on defense, get some turnovers for you, Shaq Barrett with the interception, how advantageous was that today?
That was great. I mean, that's what we need. So it's that time of year where the margin of error is really slim, and my team was 7-2 in their last 9 games, playing really well, and we got off to a really good start, took kind of a commanding lead, and then glad we finished the way we did. Wish we'd have had that 4th down play, but we did a lot of things well.
Speaking of plays, Scotty Miller comes up with a special teams play for you, whether it was a forced fumble or a muff. He prevented Jalen Reagor from recovering that ball and setting up you guys with some good field position.
Yeah, that's 2 for Scotty now. I was very apprehensive about him being a gunner with his size, but man, he's turned out to be a heck of a gunner. That's 2 fumble causes and recovers, and he's playing his ass off.
Hey, Mike, I'm just wondering what your assessment is of the running backs, Gio and Keyshawn stepping up with Leonard and Rojo out.
Oh, they did an amazing job. And running the ball, pass pro, screens, catching out the backfield, Gio's catching in the slot. They did an unbelievable job stepping up. And we knew that they're capable of making those plays. Just needed the opportunity.
And just Gio in particular, for him to come back after missing so much time and perform like he did, just how impressive is that?
I mean, he's a warrior, man. He had a pretty nasty injury. He was able to come back for his first playoff game and help us win this game.
Were you impressed with how Brady in this offense was able to function, missing all of those bodies and having to kind of acclimate new players into the offense?
Absolutely, Jeremy. In the first few drops, we saw Tom Brady look a little frustrated because he wasn't on the same page with his receivers, primarily because he hadn't thrown to those guys a lot during the course of the season. Mike Evans looked like Mike Evans, but Broussard Perriman struggled. We saw Tyler Johnson struggle at times. And I think after those first few series, everyone seemed to be on the same page. He was able to lean on Gronkowski a little more, and it looked like the Buccaneers offense we saw over the final half of last season all the way to the Super Bowl.
I want to ask you about that goal line package you guys had. I think you had 4 tight ends in the game if you count Tierney. Is there a name for that? And just talk about the play that got you open the back of the end.
Jacks, that's the goal line personnel that we have. It's called Jacks because us tight ends were all jacked. So that's how it came along. But we haven't literally, I don't think we ran a goal line play, with that personnel since week 1 in the regular season. I mean, I'm pretty sure we never really got down there. And when sometimes we were close during the regular season, it was just, 11 package or a 12 personnel or something, never a goal line package. So it was cool to whip out that goal line package today. We had 2 touchdowns on it. I mean, that great run, on the left side, and then also, that wide open touchdown by me, which they made it pretty easy for it. So it was nice.
I don't know if you had Shaq on a pitch count or not, but just that athletic play he made, tipping the ball to himself and setting up, a quick strike touchdown on the next.
Yeah, he looked healthy as hell when he was running, didn't he? But no, he was, both he and JPP. That's what's nice about having that 5-man rotation, being able to use all those guys and have fresh bodies out there chasing Jalen around.
Also impressive, playoff Lenny was not there. Keyshawn Vaughn stepped up. The running game was still clicking. Gio Bernard made some big plays as well. So it's good to have depth at those positions where they need on the offensive side of the ball. The defense played well again, and they've been ravaged by injuries all season long. Had opportunities for even more turnovers than what they ended up with. But again, I think you have to feel good about where Tom Brady is, where this offense is, assuming Tristan Wirfs can be able to play next week. And the fact that the young wide receivers were able to step up when guys went down, or in Antonio Brown's case, he sort of moonwalked off the field for one last time.
Mike played great. Just a great effort by him. Always can count on him. Dependable, tough. Made some huge catches for us. So he's just he's an amazing player, and he's just doing great stuff for us. Always comes through. Was a great red area target. Great on third down. Used him a lot of different ways today. So glad he had such a productive day. He's an amazing player.
I mean, obviously, you can tell from 8 1,000-yard seasons in a row, that a record that he holds. But, I mean, just the way that he plays, he's just consistent week in, week out, through practice, through games. It's just unbelievable. He's super selfless. He just wants to win. If he even doesn't get the ball, we win. He's a happy guy. He just wants to win, That's all he says, man, let's just win, whatever it takes. And then he steps up in the biggest moments, man. He's one of the best teammates out there. Steps up, to the plate when his number's called. And it's just an honor to be his teammate, man. He's just a Buccaneers legend. And it's great to be, just on his side.
Hey, Mike, you guys knew you had so many guys out on offense with the top 2 backs out, still no Chris. Obviously, a lot fell on you. Just want to ask you how well you think you handled that today against a tough secondary.
I did decent. There's a couple other players I could have been better at. Perimeter blocking, touchdown I could have had in the first half, but I did a solid job. I was waiting for this moment. Whenever the ball comes my way, I try to make the play.
That's it for this video. I post a new Tom Brady video every day, so please like and subscribe. That way you'll always have a new Tom Brady video to watch every single day.